Welcome, my name is Angelo, also known as DJ Spinal Tap. One of the things I like to do on my time off, or basically throughout the week, is I have to cook. I'm the cook of the household here, and I'm going to show you some of the things that I cook throughout the week for my family, which I love to do. So I'm going to show you a couple things, and we're going to have some fun with it as well. It's easy to do, especially for your guys out there that might think, man, I can't really cook. It's really not that difficult. You just got to try, and if you fail, try again. You know, it definitely pay off in the end there for you. So today first, though, before I do, I'm going to do some chicken salad, but I also have to cook some dinner for tonight. So what I'm going to do is some pork chops as well. I'm going to marinate them first. So it takes about maybe an hour to 4 hours. You want it to kind of be in your fridge hanging out. I go to Mariano's. I don't know where you guys go. I go really much anywhere I can save some money. Costco has a great selection I like as well. So I got some center cut pork chops here. I don't know how big your family is, but I have a family of 4 that I gotta feed all the time. Plus we have friends and family that come over. So I'm gonna do 6 pork chops. So at least we each get 1. And I might do a cauliflower rice with this later on in the evening. I pretty much cook for my wife. My wife always suggests what she likes, and I try to make it for her or try to mimic it. I have no really cooking skill, I would say. I didn't go any cooking school, but I do love it, and I just try to just keep learning, honestly. My wife likes my cooking, so I guess that's really all that matters. But so first, real quick, I do a little salt and pepper. My wife bought me these, by the way. It's pretty sharp, huh? What's cool about this actually is that you can actually adjust how more coarsely you want it, thinner, thicker, and I have it set just enough. If you can look here, right there, a little salt and pepper. I do each side. Keep it real simple. You don't want to go too crazy with it. All right. Get a nice little coating. Now my wife doesn't like salt, so basically all the cooking that I've been doing is for the family. Like, we're big on garlic, so if you're big on garlic, then add extra garlic. If you're big on salt and pepper, then add salt and pepper. It's totally up to you on how you want to cook it. So there's our pork chops. Let's see here, list myself. Now we're gonna get a little marinade here. Now I just bought this seasoning. It's a prime rub. But we tasted it and it's really strong. So I'm gonna break it down a little bit so we can kind of see if it's worth it, what we gotta do to tweak it for next time. That's the best part about this family is, hey, you know, it doesn't work, we're still gonna eat, we have to eat regardless. So we're gonna do a little oil. Now I'm not really good at measurements, I never really use these things, but as I tend to record this show, I'm definitely gonna start trying to do it. So let's try today. We'll do a cup of oil, because there's 6 pork chops, so that should be enough right there. And then there's that. And then I'm gonna do at least a 4th cup of this main rub here. Now you can just probably rub it right on the pork chop if you want. So there's that right there. I'm eyeballing it. I got 6 pork chops. Let's go then with 2 1/4 cups right there. So that would be a 1/2 cup, I assume, right? Would that be a 1/2 cup? So there's that. Then, last but not least, it is spicy. It's a spicy, kicked up mustard, so I'm gonna add a little sweetness to it. So I'm gonna add a little honey to it. Now here, you don't need much honey. So here, I'm gonna do a teaspoon of that. And I'm just gonna pour it in, because I don't wanna, my wife does dishes, so I don't want to add more dishes than I have to. Because I know I'll never hear the end of it. I know you guys can relate to that. So that looks about a whole teaspoon I put in there of honey. If you want to add more honey, because like I said, your family likes honey. And we're gonna look for a whisk brush. Right there. And here we go. We got ourselves a nice marinade. Now what I'm going to do tomorrow, or later on tonight, who knows, I'm going to add some thyme. So a lot of things that I get annoyed with is I watch these cooking shows all the time and I love it. But for example, you know, they go and they say, hey, add an onion, And then you have this leftover whole half onion, and then it goes to waste. So a lot of times we waste a lot of food here in the house, and we've been doing a good job cutting back on it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use some thyme with it, because I'm going to make some cauliflower rice and use the thyme in that as well. Let's see, here it is right here. So we can add that inside the mix as well. Probably just add a deeper end here. And I would say about a little small amount, nothing major. Alright. Looks pretty good. Alright. Now, if you want to taste it, go for it. We'll just use this. Usually I would just use my finger because it's my household, but since you're watching, let's see, we'll go this way. Probably add more of this prime rub because it got broken down a little bit here. So we did a 1/4 cup, but it is spicy. It does have a kick. So let's add some honey to it as well. Although we do like spice in this house, but this has definitely got a kick to it. So I'm pretty excited to see what it tastes like. But we're gonna add definitely some honey to it. So now we're adding about 2 tablespoons worth of honey into this to sweeten it up. All right. Oops. Get a little crazy there. Now we got something a little thicker paste here, thicker marinade. All right, let's see what we got here. There you go, I can taste the honey coming through there. So, and you got that mustard flavor, you got that heat coming through. We add a little thyme, I can taste the thyme in there. Just a little more thyme. And we are good to go. All right. Okay, so now we're just gonna brush it on. And then we're gonna put this away for a little bit. I'm gonna do one little brush right here. And this is all before I make the chicken salad. So basically I'm prepping throughout the day, so it's easier in case I have to go run and DJ real quick. At least I have meals ready to go for the family when we get home. I mean, there's no time where I don't come home and I grill a steak in the middle of the night. You know, if I want to taste for a steak, I take my steak out, I prep it up, I take my time. The main thing I like to do for my family is I like to do fresh ingredients instead of like always canned or whatever it may be. So we're gonna try to just put that marinade. It's a nice thick, almost like a paste right here. And then we're gonna rub this right on. Get that right in there. And of course we just dump it all on. You're not in a rush, but I like to take my time. It's therapeutic for me because I'm constantly dealing with, you know, phone calls for an event or for a wedding, or questions on, you know, breakdown of gear, or questions from the DJs. You know, there's 13 of us right now for Mac Entertainment Chicago. So, and we constantly are growing a group of guys here for you. But here we go, real light. All right. There we go. Get that all right in there. Now, if you want to get dirty, go for it. I mean, honestly, I usually do. I would just grab it and then I would just put this marinade right all over it. But, all right. You can see, make sure you get it all covered here. And just enough. Put the other one right on top. There you go. Save a little time. And mainly, we're just trying to get this little marinade here. We're going to put it in the fridge for about an hour to 4 hours. When we get to it, it's a mustard dry rub. There we go. Make sure we got it all covered there. Okay, and like I said, I don't like to waste much, so we just put the rest in there. And there, get to the bottom. There we go. Let's just get right in there. That's why we wash our hands for it. So get right in there. Make sure you get it all covered and coated a little bit here. Alright. Nice rub right in we got our salt and pepper on there for some flavor. And now we're gonna just let this sit in the fridge for a little bit. Let me wash my hands off. All right, now that the pork chops are being marinated for later on dinner, this is the whole second part of it. So be sure to catch the next one where I'm gonna actually make the pork chops, but I'm thinking maybe a cauliflower. I don't know, I like to see what is left over here in the house that we can reuse so we're not wasting so much food. But one thing that I like to make, and everyone seems to enjoy here in the household, is a chicken salad. Now, I do add some ingredients that I know a lot of you might not do in your typical chicken salad. But once again, I got my chicken breast right here. And I know that it tells you, I'm sure you've seen a lot of recipes where it says, hey, you know, you gotta let it go in the refrigerator for an hour to 4 hours, but I don't know about your household, we're hungry. Like, when we wake up for the day, like, we wanna eat, like, now. You know, we don't wanna wait 4 hours for it to cool off. So, and it tastes fine. Honestly, it tastes fine with it being warm and hot. No big difference, because I get the bun toasted anyways. So, here we go, here's our chicken. Now this one, I'm gonna add already a lemon into the recipe here. So, there's nothing wrong with using already a lemon pepper on the chicken breast. So here it is, a little lemon pepper, seasoning it nicely. I'm just gonna saute the chicken. While I'm doing this one side, what I like to do usually is I like to get my pan nice and hot, so it's ready to go to sear this flavor in here. We're gonna do a simple little olive oil, or whatever you want to do at the house, and just kind of, I just like do a little circle, circle into inner circle. All right. So there we go, seasoning right along. Don't forget we added a little salt to it. But like I said, even if you don't add the salt, you're gonna add salt and pepper later on to the rest of it anyways. So really, you don't have to put too much effort into this chicken as far as seasoning it, because this isn't gonna be the star of the recipe. The star of the recipe is gonna be an ingredient that I like to throw in, and I'm gonna show you at the end. I'm gonna bring it all now. Maybe some of you do use it already, maybe some of you have never tried, but it is delicious. So our chicken's ready to go. We're just waiting for this to heat up. That'd be crazy how the big old flame just goes up. Wow. All right, so it's nice and hot. Doesn't take long, like I said. Now here you can use onion, and today though I'm going to use green onion. I cut the onion by accident. It happens. So I'm going to definitely use it for later. Later in the evening for something. So real quick, got your oil on here, it's nice and hot. There it goes. Nice and high flame. Alright. So that's going. Okay? Well, that's working. We're going to come over here and we are going to get the rest of the ingredients going. High flame, keep an eye on it for me like a minute or so. Total cook time about 8 minutes for chicken, 7 to 8 minutes. Keep an eye on it though. We already got about 1 minute going in here. We're gonna finish the rest. We got our grapes. That's the main thing. We're gonna use yogurt this time. You can use mayo. We're gonna try some yogurt this time. We have our almonds as well. And we have our green onion and our lemon. So real quick, we're gonna get, I don't know. Like I said, we're a family of 4. So I'm gonna do about, that should be good enough. Maybe one more. Make everybody happy. Alright, so there's that chicken going. We're going to keep it on high for a little bit, and I'm going to lower it once I turn it over. And here. Alright. I don't know how your chopping skills are, but I'm okay sometimes. Sometimes a little faster than others. All depends on that arthritis. That'd be cool too, huh? Cut my finger. Now you should be able to do this while you're cooking. You should be able to slice up your ingredients because, like I said, this is really easy to make. All right. So that's a lot of that's good amount here. We're gonna flip our chicken over. Now we're going to keep the flame on high so it gets the same love. And while that's going on, you're going to finish prepping up your other ingredients. Got enough green onion. So that is a pound of chicken, just so you know. If you're wondering how much chicken is that, that's a pound of chicken. Once again, it all depends on how much you want to chop something down. If you want nice big pieces, then you like big pieces. Some of the ingredients, honestly, I don't like. My family does, so I figure out ways to eat it. So for me, I like it a little more chopped. But it does taste good all around. Alright, so that's that. So now we're going to lower our flame. So low. And then we're going to put our cover on. And that's set. The chicken's just going to continue to cook. It's got seared. It's going to be nice and tender. Some good flavor going on with it. You can use rotisserie chicken. I mean, it's any way you want to do it. But some of the ingredients I like to use is what really makes it stand out, like the grapes, the almonds, and then that secret ingredient that I'm going to show you in a little bit. So we're going to put this right into our dish here, our celery. Probably kept saying green onion, who knows. I always say the wrong words for things. Happens. Now we're going to bring over our green onion. Alright, we're just going to probably need not so much. Alright. Now the rolls we're using today is just some brats, any bread you want. I've used pita in the past, which I like because it's light if you're trying to save on the carbs. You know, pita's a lot less. Alright, so we got our green onion going. If you like more green onion, then add more green onion. I'm adding the salt and pepper for last because you never can take away the salt and pepper that you add. Alright. And our chicken's going, so we're about 4 minutes in for the chicken cooking. I don't know, I could be wrong. This is kind of my timing. If you like more green onion, there's your green onion in there. And if you want, it looks like we can probably add a little bit more green onion to it. Alright, so moving right along here. Like I said, some days I chop really good and some days I chop really bad. It's alright though, I'll live. Our chicken's going, you lower the flame a little bit. Now you want to check on it a little bit. There's the water going in there, looking good. Now if you want, you can add some cup of water if you're trying to save on that eating such fatty foods like butter. Just gotta be careful because you did put a little oil in there, so lower that flame a little bit. There you go. It's like you're steaming your chicken. That's good. Put on medium flame. And that's that. That'll take care of the chicken for the rest. While we prep the rest. Okay. Now, the grapes, same thing. You can put the grapes. I would dice. You don't have to necessarily dice them up. You can slice them in half if you want. Obviously, if you want to do crazy cutting the fourths, it's up to you. Here we just kind of slice them in half, and that's more than enough. We don't have any babies in the family, so no one's going to choke on it. Simple, right to the point. And the mix, the music that you hear right now, if you want to have your mix featured on this show, feel free to reach out to me at Mac Entertainment Chicago, MAC Entertainment Chicago @gmail.com, or hit me up on social media, Facebook, DJ Spinal Tap. I'm always available. And tell me if you want your mix featured. That's the music that's being played in the background. Is a DJ's mix. You can hear the rest of it on their social site. All genres of music are welcomed. And as obviously as I keep recording, I'll get a little better at speaking to you. So So here's our grapes right inside of our chicken salad. So this is what you're kind of getting a look at right here. This is what's starting to look like. Now, like I said, you can use mayonnaise or Miracle Whip. Miracle Whip has more of a tang. I like Miracle Whip. Lisa likes actually mayo, so it's like a big fight in our household sometimes. That's all right. So here's our lemon, which we're gonna add at the end. So we're gonna add the salt and the pepper and the lemon at the end because we can adjust it as we need. You can't take away it once you put it in there. So I'm gonna wait a little bit. Here's our almonds. Oops. Like I said, sometimes these hands just start aching too much here. So here's our almonds right in there. Now, can you roast them? Absolutely. If you want to roast them, you got to keep an eye on them though because they do cook rather quickly. I would definitely put it at 350 in the oven for about not even 5 minutes. Or I would keep an eye on it for sure, depending on your oven. So this is what our chicken salad is looking like so far. And like I said, you can always add more. You can't take away. So I leave a little bit less like this. Our chicken's going right here. It smells really good. I wish you could smell it. I can smell that lemon pepper coming through. Now, the last one here is our yogurt that we're going to use today. Let's see, I guess we could just use the spoon here. Just use a spoon. Oh, where did that come from? You're trying to trick me. Did you know that was going to happen? You're setting me up. Is this going to be practical jokes or what? All right, so we got our yogurt right in there. Big scoops. All right. And then we're going to wait, for, last but not least, for the chicken, which should be finishing up shortly. And then we're going to shred it. We're going to shred that chicken like so. For the friends, there you go. Almost put it in there, right? My wife would have freaked out. Put it in there. All right, so we'll leave that there. It's up to you how much you want. How creamy do you want it? Things like that. All right, let's take a look at our chicken. It's been about 8 minutes almost. These are some big, thick pieces here. So we're definitely going to leave it a little bit longer. All right. That's almost ready. And honestly, the way you're cooking it right here, sear it real quick on both sides on high heat, and then you should be able to easily shred it with a fork. If you want to use a food processor, go for it. I just got one for Christmas. I'm pretty excited. I have not had a chance to use it. I bust it out, but then you got to get the boxing out and all this stuff. Probably directions on the damn thing. But I'm excited. So you'll definitely see that in future shows where I'm going to use my food processor that I've been asking for 3 years. I think I put my time in, so I deserve it, right? Back to this. It depends on how you like it. Toasted. I like things toasted. Pita bread or whatever kind of favorite bread you like. Wheat bread. Big fan of Coca-Cola. I don't know about you guys, but I love a nice, enjoyable cold Coke. No, that was an advertisement, but if you're listening, give me a call. I can use definitely sponsorship for this. And like I said, if you want to sponsor this, feel free to contact me as well, because this will be seen by the tens of fans that are out there. You never know. All right, so we're looking at our chicken here. We're gonna get we can bring it over here to shred it. That's fine. It's not a problem. It's all going in the same dish. We're gonna use our fork to shred it. And I'll be right back after these few words. Chicken now. Cooking times can vary. I mean, I'm trying to aim for 8 minutes, but it could take longer because these are some nice thick chicken breasts. So let's lower our flame right here, see what we got going on. Look at that, looks good. This one still might need a little loving. This one looks good to go. So let's bring this on over here to our cutting board. We're going to start shredding it. Lower the flame a little bit. This can keep going a little bit because you can tell it's definitely a lot fatter in that region right there. And let's take a look here. Cut right there. We're good to go. Like I said, it's okay to check, make sure. I mean, this is all going into the chicken thing, and you could shred it. Like I said, it's so tender that you can just shred it with your fork right here, any way you like. The main thing I like to do is make sure you sear that meat up. You know, a lot of times you just try to saute it, but without a high flame, and then it ends up, you know. And I'm using a fork, by the way. This isn't anything special. It's not a knife, but nice tender chicken. It's not overcooked. Look at that, just like that. It takes minutes, not even. So shred this up. I think our other buddy can join us now. You felt left out. I can hear him. All right, so this is ready to go. Like I said, oops, we lost. Well, I guess that's why we have a dog. That's all right. All right. Now, if you don't want to use a fork because yours didn't come out as tender, it's okay. Because, like I said, this isn't the star of the dish. The chicken is not the star of the dish. It's the grapes and the almonds and whatever else you're trying to add onto your dish. So I'm going to switch over here and just chop up with a knife the remaining chicken and dice it the way you want to start getting it even more minced here. Oops. There we go. Just falls right apart. Amazing. All right, so. All right. I'm like watching someone dice chicken. Now, if you want to tell me what you want me to cook in the future, I would love to know, because I love trying new things. I like trying new ways. I love learning new dishes. And as I don't know if you could tell, we are eaters here in this household. Definitely going to change up our diet this year, but nonetheless, we love to eat and try new recipes and dishes. All right, so like I said, this is the start of the dish right here. It's coming up in just a few seconds. I'm going to show you the main thing I like to throw in. But I'm trying to get this as cut up as you want. Shredded chicken, like I said, I like to do it. It's therapeutic. Alright, so we got our chicken looking pretty darn good here. It's got that lemon pepper seasoning on it. And we're going to add some lemon as well to bring it out. The remaining of it. Very tender chicken right here. I think that looks pretty damn good. You know, look at that. Looks good. Okay, now if you want, you can put this in the fridge for a little bit, and we'll do that right now, actually. We'll put this right back, so I'll be right back after this message. Alright, now that we have our chicken already cooked and chopped, what I did was I put it in the freezer just to cool it down. You don't necessarily have to do that, but I'm doing that now because I bought myself time to get the oven going because I like my bread toasted. So let's recap real quick. For a juicy chicken, make sure the pan is hot, real hot with a little oil. Season your chicken, put it on there real hot, sear it in. Flip it over, same high heat, and then lower that heat so it can continue to cook. It's going to create that juicy chicken for you. As you've seen, I was using a fork, literally shredding that chicken. So now we're going to get this bread ready. And then I'm going to reveal to you that nice ingredient I like to use at the end. Now, this one, we're trying to get a little bit more healthier. Don't worry, there'll be plenty of episodes where we go all out with some butter and all the good stuff that we all love. But here I'm just going to use a little coconut oil spray right inside here to get a little toast. Real easy, nothing too crazy. And you just put it down side like that. All right, nice Nice little even spread right there. Okay. Now, I'm trying to get to 350, but like I said, we'll just keep an eye on it, and we'll put it right here in the oven while it toasts. Oven light on because I'm blind sometimes. Always make sure you have a sharp knife whenever you're cutting and dicing. And now, last but not least, the final ingredient that I've been talking about that's going to go right into this. And let me get that chicken right out, which has been cooling off a little bit here in the freezer. Now we have our chicken with a lot of flavor. And last but not least, the last one is some dill weed. Believe it or not, yes, dill weed. If you can get it fresh, that's great. If you can't, no big deal. All right, so just moving right along here, get the dill weed ready. We have time, our bread's getting toasted. We're gonna do the last mix combination, and then we're ready to eat. A nice little simple lunch. You can use it as a dish at a party. Really, anytime anyone's looking for some chicken salad, now you can say, hey, look, I got an idea, a recipe, and I'd love to know yours as well. You can throw cranberries in there if you like. Really, anything you like, you can throw into a chicken salad as long as it makes sense. All right, so we got our dill weed, nice fresh dill weeds. Oh, it smells good. I like it. You can throw egg in here if you want, but I wouldn't really consider it chicken salad. It's almost pretty much an egg salad with chicken. Kind of the same thing, but I love egg too. Don't get me wrong, I love egg in a lot of my dishes. I even like egg on top of my burgers. I don't know how you like your burgers. One day I'll definitely make you some homemade burgers. Then we'll try to throw some eggs, some bacon. I know there's a lot of bacon fans out there. We love bacon. And we'll do some healthy and non-healthy dishes as well. So once again, let's recap. We put our grapes in there. You can do some onions. I did green onions, almonds. You can do pine nuts if you want. Any kind of nuts that you want in there. Any kind of bread that you want, wheat bread. I did yogurt this time. You can do mayonnaise, Miracle Whip. Like I said, once again, this is just all based on preference. How you want to do it. How does your family like it? All right, we're going to chop ourselves up some dill weed to add in. It's already pretty much chopped up. We're just kind of finding it up. All right. Oh, it smells so good when you chop up something fresh. Man, what a difference. And that's one of the things that I do for my family is I love fresh ingredients. Really big on that. If I can just throw in at least maybe 2 fresh ingredients in a dish instead of using canned, I do it. I definitely do it. That's one thing I like to do. All right. And like I said, you can also use dill weed ready to go. But that's not the case today. We're going to go fresh all the way. Okay, looking pretty good there. All right, it's good to go. Our bread's going to be good to go. It's toasting, and now we're going to add all the final ingredients and then salt, pepper, and lemon at the end because, like I said, you cannot take away once you put it in. And there's our chicken. It may not fit the first time. It's okay. Leave room for my fork and spoon, a little ladle, and then let's start mixing it all up. Oh man, this looks good. Let's get a bigger dish maybe. Maybe this will be just a little bit bigger. Maybe looks a little bigger. Like I said, I try to do too many dishes, but sometimes you just avoid the unavoidable. Alright, so there's all those ingredients right there. Definitely gonna probably have to add some more yogurt. So far I've added already about a cup to 2 cups of it in here. And let's add some more. This smells terrific. What was I using earlier? One of those spoons here. Like I said, you can add some more yogurt. If you're 1, 2 spoons, 3. I would say about 2 to 3 cups. Depends on how creamy you want it once again. And you can always add onto it. You can never take away once it's in there. So just take your time prepping this dish, and then obviously a lot of taste. We got a lot of chicken left over we can add to it. And there we go. Looking good, looking good. Alright, add some more chicken. Getting hungry. Oh man. I feel like I'm going to gain more weight doing this show than actually losing weight. We'll see though. We're going to definitely do some juices. Some juicing. I used to be a big juicer back in the day. I used to do like almost, I don't know, 5 to 6 shakes a day. all different kinds, a healthy one, a non-healthy one. All right, so mixing it up there, looking for that nice texture and color. Got a lot of color going on here. Got your almonds in there. Okay, so now we're gonna add our dill weed, mix it up again. And like I said, you can always add, you cannot really take away. There's our dill weed. Now we're gonna add a little salt for now, because you can always add salt. And our pepper. And as you can see, I'm gonna do this one a little bit finer here. Okay, looking really good. Let's check an eye on our buns here. Oh, they smell good. Yes, you are good to go. Looking good here. A nice bun taste. Look at that. Boom. These are ready to be made with love. That was always my mom saying, "Mom, why does it taste so good?" Because I made it with love. So it's something that I never forgot. You can never go wrong if you add a little love into it, a little effort. Alright, so we got our dill weed in here now. We have our salt, pepper. You can add salt, pepper. You cannot take it away. Along with the dill weed. And you can see the little dill weed is in there. Let's add a little bit more. That's the star of the dish. The star of the dish. Alright, so if you want to add more chicken, I think there's quite a bit. It's a good layer here. And now the best part for last is to add a little lemon. And that's the last part right there. Just make sure there's no seeds that get in there. All right, I did a half a lemon. There's still some juice still left in here. And let's add that together. All right. Now you can put it in the fridge for 4 hours so it's nice and cold. Or you could do what we're gonna do. We're gonna chow down on this bad boy right now. Normally I would just taste it as is, but since you're watching, let's use a spoon here for you. And let's see. Oh God. I like it with the yogurt. This is the first time making it with the yogurt. I have used the mayo in the past. We're at just a little more salt and not much more because my wife's probably gonna look at me like, "What are you doing?" But it's right there. It tastes really good. It tastes so fresh. You have no idea. I love fresh. A little more pepper. And let's use the remaining of this lemon. Now, usually I'm gonna have a guest once a month at least that's actually gonna be non-biased. It's gonna be maybe a DJ that's gonna come on by or a family member, and they're gonna taste it and they're gonna tell me how good it is. Of course, if I had my mom taste it or Lisa or the other kids, they'd be like, "It's good." They're not gonna hurt my feelings. Whereas probably someone who's a guest would be like, "It's all right." But this is delicious. I hope you try it out. Let me know if you do. It tastes really good. You know what I really like to add more of? Is a little bit more grapes. I'm definitely gonna add a little bit more grapes to it. Because when you bite into it with the grape, it is just, right here, a little grape and a little almond. We are good to go. This is good. All right, and you have your chicken left over. You can add the rest of it to what you want. Real simple, just take this, bread, boom, lay it right there. Nice portion serving right there. All right, if you want to look all fancy, you just sprinkle a little dill right on top, and you are good to go. Put it on a plate. And there you are, a chicken salad. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys all next time. My name is Angelo, also known as DJ Spinal Tap, and this is what I like to do. This is part of my responsibilities here in the household when I'm not DJing. Take care. That was good, huh?